Hello and welcome to another Skaredcast battle report. Today, a coalition of elves, the Reaper's Wager, will face the ancient Necrons, who have come to battle. Let's dive into the game.
The Dark King.
Why, hello and welcome to another Skaredcast battle report. Of course, we're going to be playing on an awesome mat by Weyland-Yutani and the terrain with objectives, all that good stuff. Necrons, Drukhari, Reaper's Wager. Let's dive into the lists. And here we have 2,000 points of Reaper's Wager, Drukhari. That's right, I brought some Harlequins this time. I've got a Shadowseer, a troop of 11 strong with all the upgrades and Harlequin blades, and a Voidweaver with a Haywire cannon. As for the Drukhari side of the battle, we've got Drahzar, the Master of Blades. We've got Archon Skari himself with Webway Raider, with Arc Raider. Then we've got Urian Rakarth and Lilith Hesperax as well as a Beast Pack Master. The other enhancement I have is the Webway Strike, basically Deep Strike on the Shadowseer, allowing me to bring back that troop wherever I really need it. I've got 10 Hellions in the list, 2 units of 5 Mandrakes, 5 Incubi, 10 Kabalite Warriors, 3 Venoms with double cannons, a Kronos, 10 Witches, and of course 2 units of Scourge, 1 armed with Dark Lances and 1 armed with Haywire. Of course, you can check the list in the link down below in the description and go and see if you like it. It's basically a mix of everything. I'm trying to essentially bring Drahzar and Incubi. That's a test. And no Void Raven Bomber. So I've decided to sort of leverage that. Bring in big unit of Hellions like I did last time against the AdMech. I don't know. Let me know what you think with a comment. But this feels like it would be a nice all-rounded list that has a little bit of everything that can really take advantage of the Reaper's Wager rules.
Hey, my name's Connors, and I'm going to just give you a brief rundown on my StarShatter list here. I've been playing StarShatter since it came out, and the focus of this list is to be a fairly good primary objective holder, while still having good shooting. So, to start us off, we have the Catacomb Command Barge with the Dread Majesty aura. We have Imhotep, who's going to be going it solo. We have an Overlord with the Chrono Impedance Fields enhancement, and he's going to be leading that 10-man brick of Shield Guards. We've got the King leading the charge with his 2 trusty men here. We've got a Reanimator, a group of 3 Scarab Swarms, group of 5 Death Marks, 2 Doomsday Arcs, a group of 5 Flayed Ones, 2 individual Locust Destroyers, 2 individual Locust Heavy Destroyers, one with Gauss Destructor and the other with the Rapid Fire and Minik, the 10 Lich Guard, as I mentioned, 3 Ophidian Destroyers, and 6 Tomb Blades with the war gear that makes them slower but tankier.
Slower but tankier it is. That's like Necrons in a nutshell. I just wanted to show off Connor's paint job here. Look at this. It is so cool, like old marble, sort of decaying and weathered and aged. The texture on this is just fabulous. I just really wanted to show it off here. It looks so neat. And I love the blue as the accent color. It's like icy cold. There you have it. Let's dive into the mission and deployment. And we are playing Terraform Swift Action on Sweeping Engagement as our mission today, which is a mission that we are using for a local league, so we thought, why not play it again? For the keen-eyed viewers, we are using Games Workshop layout number 5. That's right, lots of different layouts. Let me know if you prefer WTC, Games Workshop, or UKTC terrain in the comments below. But this, of course, is a custom set that Weyland-Yutani made for Games Workshop with all the different sizes. Now, of course, you can order all this stuff. The link is in the description, as well as a really cool double-sided mat that has all the deployment zones and things as well. And my logo. I don't know if you can get one of those, though. That's special. With that, let's dive into deployment, and we'll be right back. And we're back after deployment. Now, we went back and forth. Now, one of the things about Games Workshop layouts is some of them are quite open. They have lots of big lanes. So if you haven't played on them before, you can get caught out if you've got big units that are hard to hide. Now, I put my Harlequin brick in Deep Strike Reserve. I've got the Hellions in Strategic Reserve, and I have 5 Witches in Strategic Reserve as well. I put the Voidweaver over here. Archon with Arc Raider with the Scout move. So you can scout up here and sticky that objective if I go first and then run away. Or can scout behind here and hide if I go second. Lilith is over here, Mandrake's over here, ready to just Well, they were good there. Five Scourge with Dark Lances to just pop out and like threaten the midboard with Dark Lances. Rax and Urian Rakarth ready to kind of contest the middle of the board. The Beast Pack, right, with just ready to either scout up, scout back, or scout laterally. The Haywire Scourge and another unit of Mandrakes in this corner ready to sort of threaten the King who's deployed on that flank. And then 5 Cavalite Warriors just towing in on that objective to sticky it, so then I don't have to have anything on there because it's very open. Like you can actually see it from like crazy angles. Drahzar and Incubi here as well. And Connors, what have you deployed? Behind this wall,
Group of little flayed ones ready to do some middle objectives.
Sneaky flayed ones.
There's nothing else I want to throw into the middle and lose on my first turn. We got a group of Tomb Blades ready to do some scout stuff. We got a big pile of nonsense here, all huddling with in our castle, with the Reanimator stuff, the Barge stuff with rerolls. Imhotep ready to just hang back here and get us some points. Oh yeah, the Lich card. Ready to...
with the Translocation Lord to just like yeet forward and start threatening.
That auto advance 6 to just go places. We got some Ophidians back here ready to do some screening and some uppy-downy business. And we've got a hidey little heavy destroyer.
Hidey hi! And then your king?
The king, who is currently alone, but who knows, maybe he'll have friends later. And then we got a little boy here with his rapid fire stuff.
In reserve, you have 1 Doomsday Arc, because you couldn't really hide it anywhere. So you said, you know what, better than losing it turn 1, or potentially losing it. You've got 2 regular destroyers and 1 unit of Death Marks ready to deep strike in, forcing me to screen and kind of, not let you have access to the entire table.
Totally.
So you decide to deploy first, so you'll be the green, so the defender. As a guest, I will be the attacker, and red as well. And these cool little score trackers, you've got the turn, you've got our command points, you've got primary and secondary scoring, and of course our 10 points for battle ready. You can always get one at Mini Wargaming Forge with some cool Skari dice and stuff too, which is awesome. I think they still have some in stock, the dice. With that though, are you ready, Connors?
I am ready.
Okay, let's roll to see who goes first.
Let's do
Good
it.
luck. Have fun. I rolled a 4.
That's a 1.
That's a 1? Well, I don't get to say it is Dark Eldar turn number 1. My force is better than your force. I can do whatever you do, but better, said the Dark Eldar to the Harlequins, as the Reaper's wager lurches forth, or will they fall prey to an evil eons long from the war in the stars. Came back from the void, and apparently he's very quiet about it. And Imhotep, of course, on the other side of the battlefield. Let's see if the Drukhari or the Necrons are victorious this day. And here we are back. After scout moves, I decided to laterally move these Beast Pack up. I have to stay 9 inches away from these flayed ones, but if anything, I can go straight into the enemy deployment zone and start killing the Ophidians to try and take away the uppy-downy, or there's a destroyer back there, which would be really good to just slow down or just tie up, and it essentially will split the army in 2. And then, of course, my Arc Raider did scout up 9 inches to get onto that objective. You decided to save your bikes, because they're one of the best tools you have in your list. And I know that, and I want to kill them very fast, and I would totally yeet Archon Skari and go stab them to death, or at least tie them up or whatever. So with that, on to turn number 1. Turn 1, I get Sabotage and no prisoners. We each have 1 command point ready to use. Okay, so no prisoners. I'm going to try to kill the flayed ones. I'm either going to try and kill this guy back here, / potentially the Ophidians with the Beast Pack. That's why I love my Beast Pack so much. It is terraform, so I have to start terraforming just to force Connor's hand to play up into me. So I did deploy Urian Rakarth to just move on to that objective. He's probably going to go terraform, might as well. This Venom is likely going to just start terraforming as well. And then we'll see what I do on this side. I can't really get to that objective, but I need to stage to make sure I can stop you from doing something fancy on that objective. In terms of shooting, I don't really have much to shoot. I can get some long angles down that way potentially, but it's about just kind of maneuvering and staging to hit turn 2, I think is what's going to happen. So let's see what we can do here. In the movement phase, the Archon moved out with his Cavalite Warriors to just get in range of those flayed ones and line of sight, and then the Venom is moved just behind this wall so they can hop back in at the end of the fight phase. Urian Rakarth just strolled onto the middle objective and is going to start terraforming, saying, do something about it, he says. The Rex moved up into the building. They're going to start sabotaging, while the Kronos has advanced into the middle, trying to just lower the angles that the enemy can shoot him from. Drahzar is trying to stay safe from that crazy angle. Like, there are angles in here that somebody could shoot at, but if you want to get really aggressive into there, that's fine by me. The Mandrake stayed there, the Mandrake stayed there, Dark Lance Scourge stayed there. Beast Pack moved up. Lilith just yeeted 19 inches forward in her Venom, just ready to threaten the Lich Guard and the bikes if they decide to push too heavily up this flank. And my lone Op 18 Void Weaver just hanging out. You know, he's got a Haywire cannon, lots of shuriken cannons. So looking forward to tasseling with some bikes or some scarabs. You know, you never know. We'll see what happens. With that, though, let's go into the shooting phase. Gonna try kill some flayed ones. Maybe kill one destroyer and tie up the Ophidians. And then that should be the turn. Well, that was a quick shooting phase. The Archon decided to kill an entire unit of flayed ones with shooting. He was like, boss pistols, pew pew. And then the Shredder was like, pew. And then Blaster killed him. So that's it for shooting phase, and now we're going to go into the charge phase. I'm quite literally only going to charge the big guy, just because I don't want to fail that charge, and that can always pile in and potentially fight the Ophidians after as well. Aha! See? Well, I can't fail the charge, so I'm going to re-roll it because it's so close. There you go. Can't fail the charge, but that was worse! Oh my goodness gracious me. That was too close. Too close. End of the fight phase, I did kill the Destroyer, and I piled into the Ophidians, who did fight back, killed the Beast Pack Master, which I killed because I don't want to give Assassinate too easily, and put a couple of wounds on one of the birds. So at the end of the fight phase, I'm going to, of course, jump back into my Venom that is currently terraforming this objective, as Archon Skari gets all fancy-wancy and says, "This is my land. This is my land." Or, I guess it was Necron land originally. Yeah, it's old Necron land. Other than that... With that, the Ophidians are stuck. They cannot uppy downy. The scoreboard itself, I get 4 points for no prisoners, killing 2 units. And I've started my sabotage, which will bring my secondary score up to 4 points as we move into a Necron turn number 1. Okay, turn 1 for the Necrons. They get 2 command points thanks to the Stormlord, and I get 1. You have extend battle lines and secure no man's land. So trying to basically get onto 2 objectives in no man's land, which you're going to try and do to stop me from terraforming anyway. And extend battle lines, like, you can easily get. Very, very good card to get early in the game when you have lots of units and can throw away stuff onto the middle of the board. Connors, you're deep in thought.
I'm thinking about exactly how I want to stop the terraform without losing too much. His next turn.
I know, it's important, right? Like, especially going first on terraform, you just go up and go, look, I'm going to do it. You either stop me or you don't. And then it's like, how do you stop them, right? And that's the important part. With that, though, let's dive in to the movement phase. Connors is committing to the bit. Okay, so you advance them. Use your auto 6 advance to move them 14 because they're slow, but 3 up armor save jet bikes. You can just barely see my Venom, so that means you're gonna be able to shoot, and then they can move, like my Scourge, which will allow you to get onto the objective. You have put a Reanimator and a Barge back there that gives you extra OC, also has some Resurrection Orbs nearby, and then of course you've tried to hide your Scourge, your Scarabs ready to kind of move in. The Stormlord has kind of moved out to screen the backboard, and then that DDA just moved up, ready to get some lines of sight.
And another note about these guys, they've received the -1 damage aura from this guy, and that'll last until my next turn.
Yeah, so they're -1 damage, which is good, because it's going to be like a lot of work to kind of get through them. And then the king decided he wants to go punch some beasts. Yeah, that makes sense. As well as the DDA, I believe, can see Urien, and then the king can see Urien. So you're going to try and stop my terraformers no matter what, which makes sense here. And then, of course, I do have my sabotage still happening over here, unless you want to split your fire.
I think we're going to stop the terraform. Got to keep this land Necron.
That Necron land. No! That's lava. I love lava. So let's do some shooting and come back. Idiot! Yeah, that's right. Uri and Rakarth died to like the first couple of saves you had to make. What a thing. However, I will say that the king then shot Adeline sight, and I had 1 rack to live, so I will complete my sabotage. Woo! That was good. Okay, so everybody's seeing this on camera. Does Urien come back to life? No, it's being filmed. Every time he's being filmed, he just decides, you know what? I don't need to bring units back. I don't need to like participate in this game anymore. He's like, I'm out. And so Urien does not come back to life. And you get some charges, which is the king into the beast pack. Well, the king didn't even break a sweat and killed all of the beasts that were back there by himself. Didn't even try. He was like, swatted them away like gnats. So we go to the... Oh, you did tank shot. So
I
you're
did
down to
tank
1.
shot, yes.
You did 1 great wound. So with sabotage, I get 3 points for my sabotage at the end of the turn. So that'll bring me up to 7. However, you will get extend and secure no man's land for a whooping 10 points right off the bat.
Pretty good turn.
And that's very good. And you stopped both of my terraforms and you dropped my primary because Orion decided to just not stand back up. Then it is what it is. But with that, my mandrakes will go up in the sky and we will be back with turn 2. Turn 2, I get a CP, you get a CP. I get 4 points for holding my home objective, and I drew Secure No Man's Land and Area Denial. Not a bad thing to have. Because I don't want to throw my Chronos out into the middle of the board, I'm just going to go ahead and not even roll it. I'm going to automatically pass the test on the rack, so I just get 5 points. 1 CP for 5 points is worth it every time. So definitely going to do that as well. He's going to pop in and probably terraform to force you to have to deal with him too as well. I do have to try and get rid of them, but they're like -1 damage, so they're really annoying. We'll see what we can do. I've got like, you're tempting me with the king because he's just sitting there, but he's so many wounds. So I might go for that. I'm not sure actually. I'm very, very curious. Playing this Reaper list is a little different than what I'm used to. So let's see what we do after movement. We come back after a very exciting movement phase.
A lot's happened.
A lot has happened. The rack has moved up, ready to just area denial, which is great. The Scourge with Dark Lance has moved up. They have line of sight to that DDA. A couple of them can now see that DDA, the Rapid Ingress, as well as the King. Now, the reason Connor's Rapid Ingress that DDA is I did strategic reserve my Witches here to push that DDA back, so it couldn't just come in here. Because I've got a Venom over here hiding behind this wall. After Drahzar got out and they're using advanced and charge, they have a 7-inch charge to get into that. So that's a big charge over here, but I needed a second charge just in case because I don't want you to get points for that objective. I've got all the Haywire focusing or looking at the King, maybe doing some damage. Well, I don't know, they could pop off, you never know. All the Dark Lances can see the King as well, just in case you decide to reactive move the DDA once. I've got some guns here that can shoot that way as well. All in all, Lilith got out of her Venom. It's a lot of wounds at toughness 5. I'm actually curious. I did more as an experiment. I want to see if Lilith, because she can go in and she normally kills a unit of Space Marines by herself because she's anti-infantry 2+. But I'm thinking she's strength 4, she wounds on 5s. If I do this lethal hit strat in combat, maybe I can do some damage with AP 3 and AP 4. And if they do enough damage, they can just kill them in a single combat phase. So that's more of an experiment to see if it works more than anything. And then the Archon got out and essentially, I'm going to charge the Scarabs to try and kill Scarabs, then hop back into Venom. Just take tools away from their StarShatter that can score points and do actions and things like that. So you're forced to do cleanse with like Lich Guard or a DDA or something like that. Like kill all the little stuff that can score points. So with that, let's do some shooting. End of the shooting phase. I did kill that DDA. Ooh, it was close though.
It was.
It was very close. It was literally this unit that finally did it with reroll hits and wounds from a pain token. But the MVP was this guy doing 9 damage to it with its Haywire. 3 hits, 3 wounds. Just 9 damage with Haywire. You were able to sort of rotate it to get the Dark Lances out of line of sight. And then I got both Menhirs down and some damage on with the Haywire into the King, and then the Dark Lance Scourge put 6 more damage onto the King. So he's down to 7 wounds. So that's not bad.
He's sweating a little.
He's, a little bit involved there. So with that, we go into the shooting phase. Area denial is going to be 5 points regardless. I'm going to get secure no man's land if I can kind of kill that guy. or the witches stay there. And or I make that charge there. So I am going to go ahead and spend 1 pain token on Drahzar's unit. I did make them within 9 of the Chronos. Do I get it back on a 4? Nope. So that, I have 1 left in the bank just in case, because I really need 1 over here for reroll hits there. Let's go into the charge phase. Actually, this is an important one. Let's roll it here. This is a 7, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so we need Drahzar. Will he get into combat? No. Reroll, that's why I gave him a pain token. Oh, he fails. No, that's actually really bad. Okay, but the good thing is he can hop into the Venom, which is the whole point. That means that witch unit's going to try and pop a 9.
Yeah, that's your insurance.
Just to try and stop you. Oh, so close. Nothing. Okay. I could use a CP for that. But I really need the CP to try and get rid of these bikes or I lose. that's just how that works. Because of that though, I have lost that unit of witches. That witch is just dead, even just from them. And I've probably lost that venom as well. And potentially some of the incubi. So that's actually going to be a good... It's not good for me. Lilith is going to charge into these guys over here. See, I just need that over there. Like, what's going on? Oh my goodness gracious. Sometimes this game... Anyway, we'll be back. Well, Drahzar, end of the fight phase. He gets to hop back in and be sad because he failed at his task at hand, which is fine. I am terraforming with that rack. And then Lilith and her witches just nuked those bikes. Just nuked them. I did lethal hits. The witches with lethal hits got 11 wounds in and got 10 damage through. So they killed 5 bikes just with the little witch unit. And then Lilith just got 2 lethals at AP4. It was like stab, just killed the last one. That was actually really good. And then the Archon did kill the Scarabs. So I will definitely push them back into the transport because they're, being all sneaky like. Aha! Archon Skari is just on a flank, like just living his best life. And then they were able to pilot and consolidate back onto the objective, get wholly within 6 of the venom, and then they're going to hop back behind the venom like this, just making it, and then of course the venom is terraforming. Well, that wasn't bad actually. I will give that. I was able to kill the DDA, so that still gives you 4 because you have more OC than 1 venom on there. Yep. But at least to keep the primary safe, I'm forcing you to deal with 2 terraforms again, and I was able to kill 2 more of your units to get like some more action stuff. So at the end of the turn, are you pulling up your Ophidians?
I am, yep. We'll see. They might do some scoring shenanigans, but we'll see what we draw.
Excellent. And as for the scoreboard, I do get a secure no man's land for 5 points and an area Nile for 5 points, bringing me up to a nice healthy 17 on secondaries as we move on to Necron turn number 2. You spent 1 CP to redraw because you got behind enemy lines and I've been able to stop you from going anywhere. You got sabotage and recover assets. We talked about killing small things to stop the opponent from being able to use small things to score points. And now that you have 2 action-based secondaries in a single turn, it's like you can either use the stuff that's on the board that you kind of want to use for other things, or you still have 3 more little units that are ready to come down as well as the other things as well. I said a lot of things. Anyway, what is your idea of a good time, Connors?
Well, I know we want to get the sabotage. The behind enemy lines, it's always a little bit sus because I don't want to get interrupted and get stuck with it next turn. So unless I'm really confident I can get it, I'll probably be pitching it. Sabotage, I'm more okay with.
Okay.
But at the very least, we got to do something about this. And So I'm just going to yeet some stuff up and see what happens.
Making stuff happen. End of the movement phase. Well, Connors, you had a plan.
Yeah, so the plan was we're going to move up this way, hope we can take this terraform from you and do some stuff. We were going to hope...
Lich Guard have like a 7-inch charge into that venom.
Yep, and they get a free reroll from the leader there.
Yep.
So hopefully we can stop that over there. The king can hopefully do some shooting to finish this guy up. To stop
he's got the one little guy there, but I did rapid ingress the big brick of Harlequins, which is the one unit I absolutely love in Reaper's Wager, because I can rapid ingress it, deep strike, outside of 18 of all guns, outside of 12 anything that can charge it. Next turn, they can advance, shoot, charge, like just get involved. So I'm hoping to yeet them up that way and just start messing with your backfield.
Yep.
However, over here, you get your DDA ready to shoot the venom.
Yep. So we're hoping that we can take out these guys here, everything here, just by activating these, and then we can do a sabotage with this guy.
Yeah, keeping it safe. And of course, you've got your out of line sight gun from the king that could potentially try and hit the haywire, because he only has 9 wounds left. He's feeling a little spicy, but he did get a long advance to try and hide behind the wall to like stop more things from shooting you that way. You still kept your death marks and 1 destroyer in reserve.
Yep.
And you're probably going to be ditching recover assets is what I think is what you've been saying.
Yeah, definitely. I'm stretched a little too thin for that, and if I get stuck with it, it's bad news bears.
Yeah, now the Lich Guard are going to have to do some heavy lifting, but they are one of the toughest units to try and take down in the game because they're cheap for what they do, and they're just very annoying to deal with. So we'll see. Lilith has 4-up invols now, so less of a... Although you did put your -1 damage on him, though. So,
Yes.
so at least one more turn of potentially doing multiple damage onto the Lich Guard. But then you've got Res Orbs and you got all this stuff. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited. This is going to be fun. StarShatter, Reaper's Wager. Oh, spicy times. End of the shooting phase. Okay, so a couple of things happened in shooting. You did kill the last rack that was doing Terraform with a couple of 3 damage guns. The DDA nuked the witches and killed the Venom. Pretty handedly, not bad. And then I was able to disembark and I put 3 models on that objective, forcing you to now make a choice. You can either shoot me to stop me from getting 4 points in my turn, or do your sabotage. Which then you shot with the king, with the out-of-line sight gun. You only killed, I think, 1 model from that because of their 3-up saves were really good.
Yep.
And then you killed 2 there. And then he shot, and I had 1 guy take 13 3-ups, 13 cover saves into the Omnitic Disintegrator. Check. And so I have 1 Incubi and Drahzar left, which is both a blessing and a curse, because now he has to test for Battle Shock every turn, but at least he gets his unit, so he gets the +1 to wound and all the cool stuff that comes with that. On this side of the table, 1 Venom is down to 2 wounds remaining, and we have some charges to make. And I'm going to make you roll it on camera, because I want everybody to see those guys fail a 7-inch charge twice.
Well, let's start with them because they're the exciting one, and that's where we're gonna have to do that free reroll. So
Yeah,
welcome
that
for a
makes sense.
7.
Into the Venom.
That's
Oh,
a 5.
Oh, that's
Free
a 5.
reroll.
Come on, come on, come on.
Oh.
Oh, man, why did it happen to you? No. Oh, okay, so you're going to go charge. Well, that's a pretty good charge there. And that's it. That was the only important thing. He doesn't care. I don't care about him. Nope, doesn't matter.
All right.
Well, what a combat phase. You did blow up that Venom, and then I lost 4 witches in the as it died. That was... Doesn't happen very often, but I rolled 4 ones. So that means Lilith is down to 1 Saberite and herself. And then you did kill that Venom quite easily, and then I disembarked, but to force you that if you wanted to pile in, you had to get off the objective, which is important. So you did decide to do that, and I did 1 damage in combat there. And that's it. Other than that, you decided not to charge over here, nothing crazy. He advanced, so he couldn't charge. And I think that's the end of your turn.
Yep, that'll be it.
Okay, so not bad. Lots of bloodshed. You have killed all 3 of my Venoms, though, so no more getting back into transport shenanigans. However, you did not score any of your cards.
I did not.
Do you want to get rid of them?
I definitely will.
Okay, so both of them, that's actually going to be like one of the big things in this game, I think. Like that turn, it's great you kill a lot of stuff, but not scoring is going to be interesting. Yeah. As we move into battle round number 3. You did get 4 points on primary, though, which we forgot to put down thanks to you holding that objective over there last turn. And
luckily, some of my killing managed to deny your primary over here.
Correct.
As well.
So I do have that one and that one. So I do go up to an 8 points. However, you're very much in control of this. You've got a couple of damage there because my little Venom exploded. But other than that, my Mandrakes will go up into the sky and we'll be back. Well, I got Bring It Down in Overwhelming Force. I get 1 CP, you get 1 CP. Okay, it's a party now, which I really like. That's exciting. I will get 8 points on primary, bringing up to 12, but no terraforms so far. I guess at some point it's going to happen, right? It's just going to happen at some point. So 12 points there, 17. So right now, that was a good turn as we go into turn 3. Let's see if we can... because I'm going first, I need to make sure I keep the pressure on, or the late game scoring can really come back and bite you in the butt. End of the movement phase. Lilith and Witch just moved aside to get blast pistols in range of big guy there. I've got Mandrakes drop down here, Mandrakes drop down here to try and stop your deep striking shenanigans and Ophidians potentially. I did spend my 1 CP to stop you from overwatching my Scourge with Haywire, because they're the one unit that's probably the most adept at taking down the king. He's only got 9 wounds, so if I can really take him down, that would be very good, because that's a big bring it down for me, and then potentially more bring it down points if I can take the barge down.
Yep, Regicide is the name of the game.
That's right. I did pass my battle shock tests. Drahzar is going to move over here and potentially just charge into that destroyer. I did sort of like run these Cabalites this way to push your reserves back that way, and I'm just screening the board. I still have my Hellions in strategic reserve, so I have to rapid ingress them in the next turn in order for them not to die. But that's going to be the idea, is they're going to rapid ingress at the end of Connor's 3rd turn, which then will get them involved in the game and stuff like that as well. So with that, though, let's dive in to my shooting phase and see what happens. I got a couple of pain tokens, which is good, and we'll go from there. However, because I made them immune to Overwatch, this 5-inch charge does not have a reroll. And we know how charges have been today, so wish me luck for that one. Ooh, that's gonna be a spicy roll. End of the shooting phase. Well, the Haywire Scourge disappointed me by only doing 3 damage. I hit like 6 times, rolled 1 4+, and he lived with 6, and then reactive moved, boop, away, so my Dark Lances couldn't see them. Ah, sad. But then the Dark Lances then shot and killed this guy after I shot with a bunch of other things. So at least the reroll once to hit and wound guy and like extra OC dude's dead.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm okay with that. I did get 1 pain token for that. Okay, that means though, the Drahzar is gonna try and be a hero. So he's gonna get a pain token to try and get a reroll charge there. Okay. He needs what he said, a 6 to get into there. But the big one that we all want to see is do the Harlequins get a 5+ to run into the Ophidians? Yeah! Okay, excellent. That's the...
Were they pleased?
Oh yeah, okay, so they move 10. I'll move them in a second. And then Drahzar the Master of Blades is gonna do, we're gonna declare 2 charges. I need a 6+ to get into the king. Ah, yes, there we go. There's a 7. Go! Okay, we'll be right back. I'm gonna film this. Because I want to see if he can kill him, and I want all of you to see with rolls and everything. Well, the first thing I did was attack with the Harlequins. I only rolled half the attacks, and they nuked the Ophidians. They did like so much damage, just 5 of them. Attacks that are 3 damage each with devastating wounds. Haha! And I'm going to use his once per game Vicious Execution to try and get some additional pain tokens for killing a character, or the Warlord in this case, which would be great. So hitting on 2s, rolling 1s. And this guy is, I had to base both of them, so I can't fight both of the same one. So he has to fight that guy over there. Okay, let's do Drahzar. Hitting on 2s, 4 rerolls. Okay, good start so far.
All right, looking for 2 dev wounds.
Strength 6. So 5s to wound with +1 to wound because he's still leading a unit, which is fabulous. But rerolling 1s, so 4s, rerolling 1s, looking for a couple of 6s just to end it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh no! Come on, 6. Let's go! Ah, so 2 invul saves.
All right. I'm gonna roll
No
over
feel,
here for
no
excitement.
pains, nothing. Yeah, got him. Does he explode? Does he explode on a 6? No. Yes. Thank goodness. So I get 3 pain tokens for killing a warlord and 1 for killing a unit. So he just gave me 4 pain tokens and my bring it down, which was massive. Good job, Drahzar. End of the turn. The destroyer had to fight the Harlequins. It made his weapon hazardous, but he did not fail his hazardous roll, so he's still alive. And this reanimator did put 1 wound on my Void Weaver. But Drahzar killing the king, big deal. That gives me, how many wounds is he for Bring It Down? It's
He's max. He's a big one.
He's a big one. Is that 6 points?
I think it's 6.
It's like full 6. Ooh, so Bring It Down for 6. Oh yeah, here it is. So 2, 4, 6 points because it's 20 plus wounds. Whew, that's spicy.
And the 2 off of killing the barge.
Oh, that's right. So that's an 8-point turn. Oh, for that. And an overwhelming force for 3 only. So that is 11 points on secondaries. Bring me up to 28 in a single turn. Wow, that was a massive secondary turn as well. As we move into your turn, number 3. No more uppy downy. You still have death marks and 1 more destroyer to come in. I was able to stop you from getting primary down to just 1 because my little incubi did pass both of his saves there, which was very nice. And with that, on to turn number 3 for the Necrons. You get 2 CP, I get 1 CP. You got Cull the Horde, which got redrawn into Defend Strongholds, and no prisoners. So killing stuff, which is kind of what you need to do anyway, and trying to kill the Harlequins to protect your home. Yeah.
And we're about to use Imhotep's very exciting once per game ability.
Oh my goodness. What is it, on a 4+?
It is on a 2 to 5. It'll do a D3, or on a 6, it's D3 plus 3.
Ooh,
so
fancy.
we want that spicy 6 right here.
Spicy 6?
It's a 4.
Just
that's
D3.
okay. D3.
For 3.
3 wounds.
Okay, well,
Not
I'll
bad.
kill 3 that are closest to that DDA, because I don't want to...
Oh, that's a good idea, actually.
Want to make it harder for you to kill them. Okay, with that, though, movement phase. End of the movement phase, Connors. What do you do?
So we've set up for a nice double charge here. We're hoping to pick this all up before we get mega charged over there.
Well, that's you kind of buried the lead there. I did rapid ingress my Hellions with my 1 CP. Of course, you can't make them -1 damage, which means that my 2 damage Hellions with sustained potential lethals, all that good stuff is going to be hopefully really spicy into a bunch of Lich Guard. Yep. You were able to auto advance that 6.
Yep, auto advance at 6 to get it just within rapid fire range of here.
Yep.
So we can shoot these guys while also getting the blast weapon off to shoot these guys, hopefully denying a double primary. We brought in all our reserves over here so we can shoot this guy. This guy fell back to let us shoot this guy.
By this guy, he means Drahzar, the Master of Blades.
Yeah, the killer of the king.
The killer of the king. the slayer of tyrants. I love it. Okay, so with that, let's do some shooting. Well, into the shooting phase. Holy moly, that like DDA just nuked the entire unit. And then my Shadowseer survived with 1 wound, getting shot by the Stormlord, this thing, the Death Marks that then were able to shoot him because he's not blown up anymore. And then that Destroyer killed the 1 Incubi, but Drahzar is still very much alive back there. And then the big cannon from the DDA did kill 3 of the Scourge, but 2 of them with Dark Lances remain. Well, that's not bad. Okay, so with that, charge time, charge o'clock. Love it. Okay, end of the combat phase. Lilith killed a couple. The Archon killed 1. But Lilith survived. You made all her saves and you did no dev wounds there. The Shadowseer did just implode against the Stormlord. That was it. And the Archon has 1 wound left, but has a Shadow Field still intact, which is great. Awesome. So with that, though, it's the turn number 4 for the Drukhari. It's been intense. I'm going to pull the Mandrakes off. They're going to go back into the sky. We'll see what we get. You did get a full no prisoners. We did give you 4 more points for holding this objective with the Lich Guard at the start of your turn, so you have 8 primary. So you get a full 5 there for no prisoners, so 15. And you're starting to defend your stronghold with the King and 1 Destroyer that's back there as well, which is an exciting time to be alive. Okay, with that, turn 4. Drahzar has done big things this game. Defense stronghold behind enemy lines. I get a CP, you get a CP. You did spend 1 CP to reanimate Lich Guard, which is good. You had 3 dead. You brought 2 back, basically, which is really nice. And you did not use your Resurrection Orb, though. So that's going to be interesting. I do owe you a couple of Battle Shock tests. So we'll start with the Scourge on the objective. They fail, so that's going to not be... Oh, that's good, actually. It drops me down to only 4 primary. And the Archon himself is okay. That's good because I got behind enemy lines, so he's just going to walk backwards and score me points while being a nuisance. But them being battle shocked is a pain in the butt. But they are heavy, so they're going to sit there and probably Dark Lance a D-size to death. Anyway, Hellions got a lot of work to do, so we'll see what we can do with that. Nice. Okay, end of the movement phase. Decided to keep these still to take advantage of heavy. You decided not to spend any CP because you're like holding onto your CP. I've got my Vector nearby too, so you're just like being annoying, or a reactive move on the DDA if you need it or something like that. I am moving these up here. Because the DDA did not overwatch anything, I'm keeping a Drahzar still because I don't want him to just randomly get overwatched by a DDA to death, which would make me very sad. The Kronos did move up. He's going to start terraforming. And then the Hellions moved up as well. Now there's no uppy downy. The Mandrakes can start getting more aggressive and hopefully get some of their, really cool mortal woundy things ready to go. But defense stronghold, there's no way you can get onto that objective, so I don't have to worry about that. And then behind enemy lines, Archon Skari is just getting me that 3 points right off the bat, so I don't have to do much else. I've got other guns. I can shoot the Void Weaver into the Stormlord, or I can shoot it into the Lich Guard. There's a variety of things I could do. And then Lilith did fall back in a position where if I charge you and then you have to pile in, if you can base Lilith, you have to base Lilith if you move, which then lets her fight, which would be really cool. But, if she passes some saves, I'm okay with that. Okay, end of the shooting phase. I was able to kill a couple of Lich Guard with some shooting, nothing too crazy. And then you popped your Res Orb at the end of the shooting phase. You brought back the 2 that I killed, basically. So they're back to exactly what it was at the start of the shooting phase, which is fine. The Mandrakes, the Haywire, the Dark Lances only put 11 wounds on the DDA. He's got 3 wounds remaining, and I put 1 little wound on him from fights. I'm not going to use any pain tokens because I didn't kill anything. No pain tokens. I'm just going to straight up try and just charge here with these guys. They're going to go there 8. Just going to have to put a whole bunch of OC on here just because. Hooray. Okay. And then Drahzar himself, what does he need to get into your DDA? He's on a he's just having a good time. Okay, so I'm going to declare I need to roll an 8, but you're going to watch him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're looking for
a bunch
sixes,
of shots,
and they're lethals.
These are all lethals, so 2 lethal hits just from that.
Just
no
2
rerolls.
lethals, yeah.
2s, good.
Alrighty.
Thanks to his crazy armor, and then the big DDA cannon.
Number of attacks.
2.
We need a juicy 6
Okay,
here.
2 of them. Oh, it hits.
okay.
Does it wound? Does it wound? Needs a 2. Okay.
It does.
4 up invuln. He's okay. And does he? Roar, he smells blood. Yeah, he smells blood. Quick combat update. I killed 3 Lich Guard with my Hellions because look at how many 4-ups he made. Oh my god. What? Oh man, I gave you like, here's those 16 saves. And you're like, oh, I'll only fail 3. Thank you very much on 4s. 2 damage each. Perfect weapon to try kill Lich Guard. Nope. Okay, well, fine. Be that way. That's really funny. So with that, let's see what Drahzar does. Get dead.
2 damage each, right?
No, 3 each.
3, okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
super dead. Does he
Super
blow?
dead. Does he explode? Yeah.
Oh, it was almost a
Paint up. Drahzar's like, hold my beer. Second big thing I've killed today. Stab. Amazing. He stays there though, because Drahzar is just being an absolute boss this game. And then I got 10 little attacks over here. End of the fight phase. Drahzar, excellent. The Heavy Destroyer did kill a couple of Cablites on that side. And the Lich Guard killed 5 of the Hellions as the Translocation Lord rolled 3 1s to wound, keeping half the Hellions alive. Nice. I'm okay with that. And you decided not to move anybody that had to go into Lilith. So that was perfect. However, I will get 3 points from behind enemy lines at the end of the turn there. You successfully defend your stronghold for 3. So you'll go to 18 points on secondaries. I will go for 3, so I go to 31 points on secondaries to really kind of getting ahead on the secondary game here. And I'm currently defending my stronghold. As we go into your 4th turn, you hold your home objective, going up to 12 points on primary. Very nice. And you go up to 3 CP, I go up to 1. You get engage on all fronts and bring it down. So engage, you've got your Lich Guard. Bring it down, you can kill either the Kronos or the Void Weaver. And engage, you basically just need to like fall him back and get a full 4 points of engage there. Not bad. So decent amount of secondaries, 1 objective scored so far. And let's see what the Necrons do. Correction, your reanimation over here, you actually get 8 points. So you actually go to 16, tying up the primary game as we go into the end of the match here. That's actually one of the benefits of going second on things like Terraform or like anything like that. I didn't do as much damage as I would have hoped with the Hellions, but you rolled a boss number of saves there. And you're going to be able to reanimate them again at the end of the turn, which is if you're on the objective, which is just means that you can basically bring them back as well. It's just going to be, like, I had 1 chance to try kill him. It didn't really work. But on the other side, Drahzar is just being a boss. So I'm okay with that. So with that, though, let's dive into your turn. End of the movement. Connor's decided to advance him around, ready to shoot Archon Skari. He fell back here so that the Swarm Lord could potentially just have an easier time shooting and charging that. And then over here, you stayed in combat. You're just I'm gonna fight you first, of course, but of course you could then fight me back and stuff like that as well. You fell back over here to get your engage. You advanced onto this objective with the Destroyer, and you've decided to keep your death mark still to get the heavy bonus against the Cabalites. Hopefully just getting rid of them there, so then the Destroyer can focus on a Drahzar. Okay, and now we go to the shooting phase. Shooting, Imhotep failed to wound this except with the Flamer, so it's down to 2 wounds remaining, still alive. And then I had to make 3 Shadowfield saves on the Archon, and I passed all 3. Nice. Other than that, you did kill the Cabalites with the Death Mark, just instantly killed them. And 2 wounds got through from the Destroyer into Drahzar. He took 4 wounds, he's down to 1 wound remaining, because he's a 5 wound chunky character, but he's still alive, which is exciting. And with that, we go into the charge phase. You've got the Storm Lord trying to get some points here. That is going to be a fail. Are you within 12, my good sir? I don't know. I don't think you're within 12, but if you are, it's going to cost you double.
Of this guy, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. The whole... Oh, he's just out. Sad. It's going to cost you just
barely.
1. No, sad. Okay, does he make it? Yeah.
Oh, maybe not.
Good job, little dude.
Vehicle lives.
Vehicle lives. The crowd goes wild. Good job. Okay, excellent. I fight first. Well, you know, I'm going to stay there because I get all of them to fight. I'm going to go ahead and spend the 1 CP to give myself sustained again. I mean, lethal again. Let's see if I can do some more damage this time with half the number of bottles. There you go. I actually killed 5 of them this time because you actually failed a few saves. Good job, Hellions. Other than that, you do get to fight me back. So I don't know if they'll survive, but you're not piling in because you don't want to like potentially go into Lilith. But we'll see what happens there. Well, end of the turn, I will pull up my Mandrakes because they can go do something fun. You did kill the Hellions, and then you used your free CP to bring back a couple of Lich Guard because you rolled another 3 on the D3. Oh man, it's like a frustrating, like this mechanic. I love it. It's very Necron. You do get a full engage for 4 points. We also, yes, you got a 16 there. So you get an engage for 4, so you're up to 22 points, but you have to discard. You're discarding Bring It Down.
Yes.
Excellent. So with that, we move into battle round number 5. And I will successfully defend my stronghold, bringing me up to 34 secondary points. Okay, I get 1 CP. You get 1. It's up to 3. I will hold 1 objective, 2 objectives for 8 points, and I get a terraform for 2 points as well. So I get 10 points. Bring me up to 26. Excellent. Nicely done. I mark for death, extend battle lines. So extend battle lines, I'm pretty much going to get, it's a free 5 points. And so that basically brings you up to 39. And then I got marked for death, and you've picked that, and the Stormlord. So if I get it, fine. If not, I got 39 points. You know, it's like, and if I lose by 1, I'll be very sad. Okay. So with that though, Drahzar, I owes you a couple of Battle Shock tests. Drahzar, the Archon, and the Void Weaver as well. And you have bottom of turn, so you can just hop onto objectives and stuff. So I have to try and stop you from being able to like terraform, and then do stuff as well. Okay, oh, that's exciting. It's like the last little bit of the turn here. I passed all my Battle Shock tests, which was fantastic. And then Archon Skari moved up. The Void Weaver moved this way. Lilith stayed still. 2 Mandrake units dropped down, ready to like spew icy death into the Necrons. This unit of Scourge has moved 14 inches this way, outside of 24, so you can't overwatch them. They stayed still. Drahzar stayed still because he did not want to get overwatched either, at least right now. And we're just going to try and kill some stuff and just prevent you from scoring as many points as possible as you go into the last turn. Well, Mr. One Wounded Heavy Destroyer that didn't die to a bunch of Dark Lances and Haywires and the Kronos' butt gun after my Void Weaver flipped the wager because he killed all the... No, I tried so hard to make it happen. Now I have to do some very silly charges. However, Lilith is looking down at this Lord being really excited about it. So with that, though, we do some charges. So let's start with Lilith. Hooray! Good job, Lilith. Get him. This one's going to charge into. Yay! Get him. Okay. The Archon's going to charge into that guy back there. Yay! 7. Get him as well. Yeah, good job. What's that one? That one's that one over there. I need a 10. I need a 10 to jump in. Let's go! That's a 5. That's not going to happen. I really want to get you. CP reroll. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. CP reroll.
Do it.
Let's go. 1 CP. No. No, for crying out loud.
Closest eligible.
Drahzar.
Reroll 1s.
He's going to make it with a 6 to try and murder him. Would you like to overwatch?
I've got so much CP, I think I should use it.
Yeah, he's got 1 left. It actually could be a big deal.
Here to be dramatic.
Okay, drama.
Overwatch.
And you get to reroll hit rolls though?
1, because you're the closest eligible target.
Ooh, is that only in your shooting phase or is that
I have to double check that, but either way they
doesn't matter. Just 1 hit though.
1 lethal?
Oh, it's lethal. It's lethal.
Right.
Why are you rolling with 4 up? Yeah! Drahzar. Coming at him again. Get him. Murder. Murder, I say. Oh my goodness gracious. Lilith just rolled. That many sustained 2s. I guess the Lord, look at that. What do you vote? 7. She adds 14 dice to her pool. 21 saves from Lilith. Dead. Amazing. I got my mark for death. Yeah, that's right. Dead die. That does mean that I will. That's a 1 point mark for death. I did all that for 1 point. She's gonna go like this and hide behind this wall, like and get a little closer to the objective that way. And then this can also kind of go 3 inches this way. Just kind of get into the cover. Not that it matters too much. Excellent. And then Drahzar. Unless you want to interrupt to try to kill Drahzar before he fights.
Nope.
Drahzar killed that destroyer. I killed here. 2 wounds on Archon Skari. Shadowfield save. Oh, he's good. Oh, he's good again. He's actually made like 10 Shadowfield saves this game. That normally doesn't happen. But with that, it is the end of the turn. I will get extended mark for death, which will give me a maximum of 40 points on secondaries, which is a very good secondary turn for me. And with that, we go to your turn number 5, where you're going to draw your cards. I get a CP, you get a CP as well.
2 CP.
Ooh, 2! Oh, you're up to 4. Look at you swimming in command points. Nothing I can do about that. What are your cards?
We got Assassination.
Nice.
Ooh, there's some targets. And Containment.
Contain and Assassinate, not terrible.
Containment's
And,
an interesting one.
yeah. So you have a whole bunch of CP. You've got Containment and Assassination. I've got Archon Skari on 1 wound left. I have Drahzar on 1 wound left. That's easy assassination. Containment over here should be okay if he passes his battle shock test. And you should be able to get a nice big 12 point on primary using an auto advance 6 and go through walls, but that'll cost you all 4 of your CP, which means you have to roll his battle shock test if you want to be able to do that, because it's 3 points to 4 points. Interesting, but they are leadership 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna roll it.
See that 7?
Leadership 7. Oh, he battle shocks at a crucial moment of the game. Okie dokie. Not that you couldn't, get something on that objective as well, considering that you could potentially advance it. I don't know. No, they move 5, right? So
I would have to move them and charge them.
yeah, you'd have to charge. That is an option. Okay, so there are options. Now, that at the same time, you could just shoot and get 5 points, instead of doing anything else. But with that, what an intense sort of like turn this is going to be, and we'll be right back. Okay, so you spent auto advance 6, go through walls to just move this through and get 3 OC. I should have actually kept it on there, but I was thinking of denying overwhelming force, and I should have just tried to put as much OC as possible considering he moved really fast. You were able to kill Archon Skari with the Stormlord, who basically was like, start for the Destroyer, and I finally failed a Shadowfield save. However, you did move the Initiative Destroyer, and I got 2 hits and rolled 1 devastating wound, and I killed, because he'd reanimated to have a couple of wounds left, so I was able to kill him, and now you're going to try and make that charge to try and get onto the objective and get some primary points.
So let's see if we can get that
and you have 0 CP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we do it?
Yes. That's a 6.
Leave a 6 as
Oh,
well?
yeah, you're fine.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll be able to go back this way and then pile in around, all that good stuff. Let's see if Drahzar survives this attack. He's got 1 wound left to stop you from getting stuff. Well, then he'd have to actually pretty much kill the entirety of the unit. Pain token on Drahzar. Let's go, Drahzar. You got this. Look at him go, fighting the evils of beyond. I have 0 CP though, so I can't use a reroll or anything for a save.
Yep, and he's not an objective.
He's
so it's
not on
threes,
an
not
objective. 2 3s, okay. And toughness 3 on Drahzar.
All right, so 4 is going
Okay.
to 3s.
Okay, that's 6 saves. Statistically, you should fail at least 1 of these. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's
Okay,
see it.
Drahzar, you got this, buddy. You're the hero of this game. He's literally a legend. Oh, you just got him. No. And that will give you your extra primary points over here. What a close game this has
He's
been.
so tight.
Let's go to the scoreboard. You weren't able to get containment, so that goes away. And you were able to get assassination for 5 points twice. No, I'm just kidding. Just once. So it goes up to 27, 4, 8, 12 points, bringing up to 28 primary points as well. So with that, though, it was really in the secondary game that I was able to maximize on this game in total. So 40, so that's 66, 76 points for the Dark Eldar to 20, 50, 65 points. Yeah, 76 to 65. That's an 11-point game. Victory for the Drukhari, but what a fantastic match, guys. It was fantastic. Well done. That was really fun. I did end up, there was a couple of times where I rolled an extra attack for Drahzar in a couple of key moments. His 5 attacks, not 6. I confused it with his strength of 6 instead of you know, and which is fine. I just haven't used him in a long time. It didn't actually really matter too much, other than it did. Haha, no, he died. But that is all good. Other than that, Connors, any last words? What was your favorite moment?
Well, the regicide, Drahzar just killing the king and then saying, you know what, I'm going to kill this arc as well. And you know what, I'm just going to keep killing stuff.
Yeah, he literally controlled that whole side of the battlefield almost single-handedly.
I did also enjoy the Lich Guard, just being a total boss and making way too many saves.
Against that one Hellion charge. I was able to, like, do some damage to them, and then Lilith just went to town on your lord and just stabbed him to death. What was your favorite part? Let us know in the comments down below. But this was a fantastic match. Of course, make sure you check out all the sponsors. Red Dragon, who's sponsoring my entire thing this year, going to all the different events, trying to be #1 in the ITC. And then, of course, Wayland Yutani for the really awesome terrain. There's discounts and stuff for it, and the really cool mats as well. And that's game. Thanks a lot for watching. Huge shout out to the channel Patreons, without whom none of this is possible. Of course, the Tabletop Forge, where I have the little studio here in Barrie, Ontario, Canada. Excellent little club and store, which is fantastic. And that was great, Connors.
Yep.
Fantastic match, sir. We will be here again since John has abandoned filming because he had a kid, and so he's busy and has a life. Now you have to be the new Necron. Other than that, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let me know if you have any questions, anything like that. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye, everybody. The Dark Kin.